the evaluation orientation, the process that we're going to take this year in the evaluations that I do with you. So here we go. Buckle up. It's something that some of you have heard probably before, others maybe not. So we start with this idea. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So I'm going to try to be very simple today with my explanation as to what this process looks like. And hopefully, if I do that, then you'll be able to understand and we can move on. So this is the Utah State Office of Education Model Evaluation System. So over here on the left is all of the stuff that I use in the evaluation process, okay? And then we look on the right, that what I do over here on the left combined with the stuff here on the right equals your final summative rating. And I'll show you where you're at this year. I'll even send that out as an email. So these are just a lot of the things that go into the evaluation process. Now, I can't say this strongly enough, and I know that it's hard coming from me, but I truly am not coming into classrooms to pick on you. I truly am coming in to see how we together can create the learning environment that we want in the classroom, okay? I know this is part of my job, it's part of what we have to do, but I do not want it to look like or feel like, and I know it can sometimes, that I am coming in to pick on you and to point out all the stuff that you're doing wrong. That's not the objective of this whole process. The process is we work together in order to ensure that the learning environment in the classroom is conducive for the kids. Are they learning what they need to be learning? And that's really what it comes down to. So we look at all these things: observations, pre and post conferences, documents, evidence, other data, your PGP that you create, and other district requirements. That added to what are the kids doing in the classroom? Okay, that's what we're looking for. Your professional performance, the instruction that you're giving in the classroom, and then there is a component with stakeholder input that you guys are probably familiar with. So I have to be Rater certified every year, not every year, every 3 years. And so I am trained on what to look for, and it's a lot, and I'm trying my hardest in it too, but it's something that we are always caught up on so that we know what to look for. So you have to be notified. Certified staff must receive an evaluation orientation 15 days prior to beginning the evaluation process, which is perfect. Today's September 17th. My goal is to start these evaluations in October. So you have some heads up that this is coming. Okay, the orientation, we're going to include the process, the forms, the purpose, and methods of the evaluation. We're going to do it this coming up, but then letters came up, so we didn't do it. So every certified educator every year creates a PGP and does a self-evaluation. All right? So your PGP goals could be based upon needs found during the self-assessment exercise. Now, I'm just going to show you. This is what it looks like. This is my Observer tab. You have one for you as a teacher. And when you log in, you can go here. It says Educational Leadership Self-Assessment, my PGP. I start that. And my observer is Dave Rowe. Then I click Start, and I start that process. I go through here and I evaluate myself. Where am I on all of these standards? You will do the same thing, but you're going to be looking at this, the Utah Teaching Observation Tool. Okay, so you're going to self-evaluate yourself, and you're going to create a PGP. Set a goal for yourself this year. All right, and I'm hoping that we can spend some time on a Monday and get this done all together so that it's not one extra thing for you. And again, like this slide says, both self-evaluation and PGP are done in Observer tab. We can help you get on if it's been a while for you. So it comes down to this whole evaluation process. What do you want students to know? How do we know that they know it? And what are we going to do if they don't know? All right, so that's the student growth. May be considered as evidence when rating the educator. So I will talk about that in, I have data that I can look at. We'll look at it together when we meet. And so those are things that we look at. So some things to remember. There are SLOs, and we'll talk about this later, but my goal, so not everybody has to, freak out about this with the SLOs. I want us to use letters. So make that your goal, letters. You're going to have students you're working with, so if we all just use letters as our SLO, the outcome for our kids that we're working with in that, then I think that will make it easy on all of us. So that's part of the evaluation process, not only evaluations when I come in, but the student growth and learning. And if you'll look at this slide again, it's a lot of stuff. Yes, the observations are a part of it, but it's a lot of things when I drop in and when we talk, and there's other data as well. So it's not simply just the evaluation process when I come in to observe. Stakeholder input is a part of this whole process. Stakeholder input will be gathered throughout the year, emails, phone calls, surveys, etc. Formal surveys requesting input will be sent in February. So that's the one the district sends out. And then I will share you those when they come back in a timely manner so that you will have an idea of those results. So if you are a summative educator, so let's look at this page now. This is the information I was given from the district. Summative people are on the left. Allie, Linda, Trudy, Shelley, Janessa, Amber, Elise, Rachel. Rachel shouldn't be on there. If you're an intern, you shouldn't be on there, so I'm sorry. I'll take that off. Formative. Remember your formative one was, you were on summative last year, so now you have 2 years on formative. If you're formative 2, then next year will be your summative, and I will send this out to you. So, summative evaluations. One summative evaluation, if you're a provisional educator in your first 3 years, this is based on at least 2 formal observations. So I will formally observe you twice by February 15th, okay? Provisional status may be extended for an educator who is not meeting the effective ranking. Well, you don't need to talk about that now. Career educator, so if you're over 3 years, you have 1 summative evaluation every 3 years. So if you're on that left-hand column, that's you. That's due by April 15th, and those should be submitted to HR by April 30th. So you're going to get a summative evaluation. You only get 1 formal observation, whereas the provisionals get 2. So there's that. Observation conferences. If you're on the summative, we have to have a pre and post when we do those observations, and then I record that information in Observer tab. We'll talk about it. I will send it to the district by the end of April. Plan of assistance means that any educator receiving a 0 or the not met on any standard shall be placed on a plan of assistance. Then there's a window of improvement. You have 120 days to improve that rating. Any educator on a plan of assistance shall be placed on performance pay, meaning they will not progress steps on the salary schedule. But again, remember, you have 120 days to do that, so it most likely, if that were to occur, it wouldn't affect your pay if that evaluation improved within the school year. Educator will be reevaluated to determine if the plan was met. So if this happens, we'll meet multiple times, and we're going to keep going. Formative evaluations. So if we look back, all of you on the right-hand side are formative for this year. So that means if you're a career educator, I'll do drop-ins, walkthroughs, other formal observations. We will do a post-conference at the end of the year to go over your SOL, your PGP, and any other things that you would like to talk about. And I don't submit anything to the district for that. So interns, UTAUT is required, will be observed by the appropriate person and or administrator. Interns get observed multiple times throughout the year. So I'll work with them as this year goes on. And again, you can find the Utah Teaching Observation Tool online. Just Google it. I can get hard copies. And if you don't have the booklet, I can get you a booklet as well that breaks down the standards even more. And just a reminder, certified staff will not receive separate rating for student growth and stakeholder input. Student growth and stakeholder input data should be considered when evaluating certified staff. Provisional educators will have one summative evaluation based on 2 evaluation cycles. So that's provisional if you're on the summative side. But if you're a career, you only have 1 summative on 1 evaluation. You don't have to go through it twice. Certified staff scoring 0, we talked about that. Plan of assistance, remember to place educator appropriate type. All right, so I will reach out to you. We'll probably talk in person again about some of this stuff. But you have it. Please watch this so that you are aware, and then I will meet with you and we'll figure out times for pre and post conferences. Those of you that are on the summative side and then the formative side, I like to pop in, but I know how it is to be a teacher. I like when I'm aware that someone's popping in. So I'll do my best to kind of just give people a heads up to say, hey, I'm going to try to visit these classrooms today, and then you'll know that I might be around that day. I'm going to try to be in classrooms more this year than I was last year because it's a new year. So anyway, that's it. Please have a great day. See ya.